Time once again to go back into the archives. Welcome to Vintage Games here on the NHL Network. I'm Dan Pollard. Today we look back to April 24th of 1981, the quarterfinal between the defending champion New York Islanders and the Edmonton Oilers. After falling behind 3-1 in the series, the Oilers won Game 5 on Long Island to cut the series lead to 3-2. Now they were just a home win away from forcing the Islanders to a 7th game.
Brian Lewis is the referee tonight. Jerry Gauthier and Swede Knox are the linesmen. Roland Melanson started in goal against the Oilers in their 5-4 overtime victory. However, Billy Smith is the starting goaltender tonight for the Islanders. He has started all but that game last Monday. And, of course, Andy Moog, the newest sports hero in this Alberta capital, has started all the playoff games for the Oilers. He has held the hot hand. He was brilliant in the 5-2 in here. He performed well. He was brilliant in the 5-4 overtime loss. And he was particularly skillful in the 4-3 victory on Wednesday night in New York. Play underway. Potvin back into his own zone for New York. A lead pass into the center ice area. Gillies, a long shot, block save by Andy Moog, and that's the strength, Jerry Pinder, of this young fella.
Well, it certainly is, and Andy Moog is noted since he came up to the Oilers for his quick glove hand. Now watch, Gillies uses Kevin Lowe for the screen, but there's Andy Moog. He's not real far out of his net, Don, but he gives the shooter a lot of the net on his glove hand and challenges him to try and beat his glove hand, and he's so quick with it that so far he's been lucky.
Trottier into the face-off circle against Gary Unger. Unger gets the draw, back to Kevin Lowe. Up along the boards, Pat Hughes unable to get it out. The puck loose in the corner. Trottier had difficulty controlling it. Bossy is bumped along the boards by Hunter. There's a long shot by McEwen. It was deflected by Fogelin and almost went in. There's a penalty coming up, I believe, against Dale Hunter. Dave Hunter will be going off.
A little bit of an unnecessary move, and it's a bad break for the Oilers at this point in the game. They don't want to get down by 1 or 2 to the Islanders early in the game.
Well, the Islander power play was particularly devastating in the first 2 games in an 8-2 and 6-3 triumph. However, the Oilers have responded quite well in the 3 games since then. Kevin Lowe shoots it in. Smith is out of his net. He leaves it there for Dennis Potvin. Potvin having difficulty with the forechecking of Glenn Anderson. Up along the boards for Bossy. Circling in his own zone. Over to Potvin. Potvin, lead pass, broken up by the Oilers. Anderson gets the puck back. Anderson flips it down the ice. Anderson was dumped by Trottier as he cleared it into the New York zone.
Well, the Islanders to this point have not had any control and roll in. The Oilers with Messier and Glenn Anderson doing a heck of a job of forechecking, Don.
1:13 left in the penalty. Across the line to Gillies, to Bossy. Bossy going back at the net. He tried to center it. The puck goes loose and it's cleared off the boards and down the ice.
And as long as the Oilers stay aggressive penalty killing, I think they're going to be okay. They've gotten into trouble on killing penalties against the Islanders in the series because they haven't been aggressive.
Potvin leads the Islanders down the ice. At the line, taken out of the play by Fogelin. The puck goes loose, picked up by Gary Lariviere, and down the ice it goes again.
And Don, part of what I mean by being aggressive is what we just saw with young Coffey standing up the blue line and forcing Potvin to dump that puck in deep.
Here come the Islanders. Anders Kalur in across the line. Left wing pass. Goes astray. Picked up in the corner by Edmonton and cleared down the ice. Actually, it was deflected into the players' bench, the New York players' bench, with 24 seconds left in the penalty. Well, Billy Smith hasn't been tested yet. Andy Moog has had just the 1 shot, but Al Arbour has to be a little concerned. His club hasn't been able to mount anything in the way of an offensive thrust in the power play.
That's right. And they only have 24 seconds left, Don. But, you know, with only a little more than 2 minutes gone in the game, it's hardly, we just don't get an opportunity to tell which way the game's going, the flow of the game, particularly with the Oilers having a 2-minute penalty.
Butch Goring is out there now, along with Anders Kalur and John Tonelli. Mike McEwen and Dennis Potvin are back on the blue line. Over to McEwen. He takes a shot. It hit a leg and almost deflected past Moe. Picked up by Tonelli in the corner. Back of the goal to Butch Goring. He's knocked off the puck. Wayne Gretzky gets it out to Jari Kurri. Kurri for the Oilers. He simply flips it down into the New York zone with just 5 seconds left in the penalty. Here comes Butch Goring, and the Oilers are back at full strength. Goring with a slap shot that deflected off his stick and up into the crowd. I think there may be a slight problem with the mesh at the back of the Edmonton goal, and the officials are doing a quick stitching job.
Fortunately, that wasn't created by a puck going through there, Don. But Andy Moog standing with his back turned there, looking at the linesman fixing the net, has been so sensational. And you know, he's been in the headlines in every single paper here for about a week, and it's just incredible. A 21-year-old. As we have a look at the playoff scoring here, Mike Bossy and Gretzky both with 20 points, and of course Trottier with 17. But it's just a great credit to a youngster like Mo, who played in the minors all year and didn't even know if he would be playing professional hockey at the end of his junior career.
Played more games in the playoffs than he did in the regular season. A shot hit a leg in front. Nystrom raced in after it. Anderson along the boards to Hagman. He clears it to center ice. Bob Lorimer with the long shot. It hit a leg and ricocheted in, but New York was offside.
Well, there's the youngsters that have created so much excitement in Edmonton. But, you know, I think the strategy of Al Arbour is coming out pretty early in this game, Rit. I've noticed that, and there's a big cheer for Kurt Brackenbury, who's just come out on the ice. And the reason he's been sent out on the ice, and what I was going to mention, is the Islanders have laid the body on 4 or 5 times. We saw Trottier knock a man down. We've seen Nystrom. We've seen a couple other of the Islanders take a shot at the Oilers. And I think that's their strategy. And, you know, over the years, they have been a very tough hockey club. So we'll have to see how that works.
Well, Brackenbury had been a press box spectator in the first 4 games of this series. He dressed on Wednesday night in New York. And he is a favorite with the fans here in Edmonton for his rather belligerent attitude most of the time he is on the ice.
Well, he's an honest hockey player, and he'll give you 110%, and he loves to lay the body on.
Anderson shoots it into the New York zone. Brackenbury racing in against Lane. He'll hit him if he gets the chance. Lane goes down. The puck up along the boards to Nystrom. Nystrom trying to get out of there. Messier almost took it away from him. Nystrom recovered, and Lorimer shoots it in. Now along the boards, Messier losing control of it. Anderson tries to help out. He's pinned against the boards by Merrick. It goes loose. Messier goes to the other side to Risto Silverman. Up to Kurt Brackenbury. A feed into the center ice area. Messier could not catch up with it. It's shot back into the Edmonton zone. Silverman is back there. Pass to Anderson. Anderson for the Oilers. Trying to go around Lane. Cutting for the goal, and Billy Smith comes out of his net to make a sliding save off the stick of Anderson on a good rush for Edmonton. The puck loose in the center ice area. Nystrom trying to get to it. He was tied up by Unger, and Merrick finally shoots it in. 16 minutes remaining in this opening period. No score, the Islanders and the Oilers. Loose puck in the center ice area. Rink-wide pass knocked down by Dave Hunter. Off the boards to Kevin Lowe. On the left side to Gary Unger. He had it broken up at the line by McEwen. Then it's fired back in again by Dave Hunter. Back of his goal, McEwen to Langevin. Langevin tried to get it out. It's kept in by the Oilers. McEwen comes back in now. His pass almost intercepted, and Brian Trottier picks up the loose puck to Clark Gillies. He shoots it in as he's hit by Fogelin. Kevin Lowe goes back of the goal, up along the boards. Hunter pokes it free and back into New York territory. Now it's Clark Gillies winding up in his own zone. A lead pass for Trottier. Tried to give it back, and Gillies had difficulty controlling it. A quick centering pass, and they score as Hector Marini knocked it in.
Well, Clark Gillies responsible for that. Look at him, he leads the rush, moves the puck to Trottier in the blue line, and Trottier flips it back to him. It goes off Gillies' stick here and into the corner, and watch him make the play. A little bit of a defensive lap by the Oilers in the slot area where they let Marini come in, but Don, again, I want to emphasize that Marini gets the goal from Clark Gillies and Trottier, but as I said, I want to emphasize the fact that even Gillies out there was laying the body on him, and we're going to have to wait and see if this strategy works for the Islanders.
A penalty upcoming against the New York Islanders as they lead the hockey game 1-0.
Dust bunnies under the chair, dust so thick it's everywhere? Introducing the new patented Go Duster. Push the button and it starts to spin. It's battery operated so there's no wires. Hate to dust? The motorized Go Duster dusts for you and does it in half the time. Don't stir up dust into the air, aggravating your allergies. Go Duster with its miracle dust grabbing spray grabs and holds dust allergens like a magnet, so no more flying dust. Now rinse the dust and allergens down the drain. Clean blinds in seconds. Dust grids and grills. Clean the screen and around the machine. Clean books and bookshelves. Powerful yet gentle. Go Duster slides into every nook and cranny. It loves your love seats. Clean fancy wood furniture. Dust lampshades, picture frames, and more. Dust leaps off silk flowers and dusty tree branches. Even kids love the Go Duster.
It's fast, it's easy, and it's fun.
I have arthritis, and Go Duster is really kind to my aching wrists.
The Go Duster dusts hard-to-reach recessed lights, chandeliers, and creepy cobwebs and corners. You also get the mini head to easily clean your car or keyboard. Sophisticated dusters have sold for $60. The amazing Go Duster is just 2 easy payments of $9.99. We're not through yet. You'll get the miracle dust-grabbing spray whenever you need it, free for life. Look again. The Go Duster with dust-grabbing spray grabs dust so no more flying dust. But wait, there's more. Call right now and we'll double the entire order so you get a second complete set as a bonus. Just pay separate shipping and processing. You get it all. 2 amazing Go Dusters, 2 mini heads, and free Go Duster dust-grabbing spray for life. A $100 value, just 2 payments of $9.99. Call now.
To order by credit card, call 1-800-853-1648. That's 1-800-853-1648. But call now. We're giving away a bonus second Go Duster with all of today's orders. So call 1-800-853-1648. Call now.
Well, John Stanley takes a 2-minute call for high sticking, as we see there, right in front of the referee.
So a great opportunity for the Oilers to get back into the hockey game. Paul Coffey in the center ice area. An errant pass that hits a stick and bounces over the boards and into the Oiler bench. Jerry, I was going to ask you earlier the importance of the first goal in this hockey game.
Well, it's obviously more important, I think, to the Edmonton Oilers than it is to the Islanders. A veteran hockey club, the first goal doesn't mean near as much as it does to a young club, and that's the only reason I say that.
Coffey back into his own zone. Lead pass to Gretzky in the center ice area. Gretzky has Callaghan and Curry with him. Over to Callaghan. Drops it back to the line to Coffey. Coffey trying to move in. Back to Sylvan and a shot. And it's blocked by Carroll. Carroll lost his stick in the process. Gretzky tried to center it. However, it was intercepted by Morrow and cleared down the ice.
And we're going to have a look at Gretzky here. He just comes back to the red line and no further and sneaks up the boards and then into the middle.
Coffey leading the way. Off Gretzky's stick, the puck goes loose. Ken Morrow, the overtime hero on Monday night, clears it down the ice.
As the Oilers bring the puck up the ice, they're not getting a chance to get it to Gretzky because one of the Islanders is grabbing onto him and hanging on pretty closely and not giving Gretzky a chance to wheel with the puck.
Here's Callaghan in his own zone, almost losing it there. Coffey following up on the play, lugs it out. Across the line, Coffey's pass goes off the leg. Callaghan runs into the Islander player, Galore, and it's cleared down the ice.
To this point, the Islanders have iced it 3 times, doing a very, very good job of killing off this Oiler power play.
43 seconds left in the penalty. Here comes Anderson, trying to go around Potvin. He was knocked down. The puck picked up by Edmonton. Gretzky going back to the net, out to the line. Foegele moving in, a shot. Potvin came out to block it. The puck is loose and cleared down the ice by Goring.
Well, what a defensive effort by Denny Potvin as the Oilers moved in from the point and let one fly, but he blocked the shot.
For Wayne Gretzky, he deflects it, and it goes up over the boards and out of play.
Well, there's Marini in front of the net taking the pass from Gillies, and a pretty good effort by Gillies. You know, he started the play way back behind his own net in the Islander end of the ice.
Just 15 seconds left in the penalty to John Tonelli. The face-off outside the New York line.
A goal like that early in the game Don, certainly does a lot to quiet down this crowd. You know, since that goal's been scored, they've been pretty quiet.
Indeed they have, as Gord Lane goes back into his own zone and fires at the length of the ice. Moog failed to stop it, and Carroll flips it back into the neutral zone. The Islanders will successfully kill off this penalty as it's fired back in again by Lorimer. Donnelly is back in the ice. Vogelin starting out from behind his own goal. Ahead to Messier. He has it poked away in the center ice area. Merrick tried to feed it over to Nystrom. Picked up now by Sutter. Sutter in across the line. The puck loose. Here's a chance for Merrick. Nystrom, and his backhand shot just went wide. Now it's Messier ahead to Anderson. Anderson with a long shot. It hits the leg, and back comes Bob Nystrom. Nystrom over on the left side to Sutter. Sutter working to the corner as it knocked down and flipped up over the boards and out of play by Silderman. With the score, the New York Islanders 1, Edmonton 0. This is Stanley Cup 81.
Is this the year the Cup comes to Buffalo?
To Carolina?
To Pittsburgh?
Is this the year someone scores 50 and 38?
And 37?
In 36?
Is this the year someone scores 200 points?
Is this the year kids start taping their sticks like Stahl?
Is this the year someone scores 93?
Is this the year a forward becomes unstoppable?
Is this the year a goalie stops everything?
Is this the year we finally figure out who's Dad's favorite?
Is this the year?
Is this the year?
Этот год?
Is this the year?
Is this the year?
Every Stanley Cup final has thrilling moments, but perhaps none more memorable than a Game 7 for the right to hoist Lord Stanley.
The waiting is over!
Now, with the Game 7 Collection DVD box set, you can relive these unforgettable contests.
And after 22 years, Ravenborg!
Hosted by Craig Simpson. Available wherever DVDs are sold or shop NHL.com.
Tomorrow, if you like high-flying hockey, then get ready as Gretzky's Coyotes trek north to Minnesota to battle speedster Marian Gaborik and the Wild. Coyotes Wild, tomorrow at 6 Eastern on the NHL Network. All hockey, all the time. You're watching the NHL Network.
Serving a 2-minute sentence for hooking at 12:15. This is how it happened, Jerry.
Well, he took down Billy Carroll in front of the Oilers net there, and Clark Gillies is out there in the power play, Don, and we're going to see him go directly to the front of the Oilers net and cause all kinds of problems for Moog and the defenseman.
7:45 the time left in this first period. From the draw, back to the line to Potvin. Over to McEwen. McEwen moving in, shot, save. Bossy the rebound up front. Trottier jams at it. And Moog somehow got a skate or a glove on it with Clark Gillies being forced up against the crossbar.
Well, they get the draw, and Clark Gillies, look at him. He goes right to the front of the net. He could have turned around and kissed Andy Moog for a minute there. And he's such a big guy at 6'4". It's like Paul Holmgren of the Philadelphia Flyers. There's absolutely no way that LaRiviere, Coffey, Siltanen, Doug Hicks, they just can't get him out of there.
Face-off to the left of Moog. Messier into the circle against Trottier. They are both waved out. Now Clark Gillies will come in against Hunter. From the draw, Coffey unable to get it up. Potvin shot is high off the glass. Back at the goal out front. And Gillies was tied up as Bossy centered it. Now Gillies pokes it free. However, it's picked off by the Islanders. McEwen manages to keep it in. Rink wide to Potvin. Potvin fires it back to the net. Clark Gillies controlling it for New York to Mike Bossy. Back to the line. McEwen winding up. His shot deflects off his stick into the crowd.
Mike McEwen inserted into the lineup because of Stefan Pearson's injury, and he's a pretty good offensive hockey player. He played very good offensive hockey for the New York Rangers. And again, the Islanders with Clark Gillies in front of the net is creating all kinds of problems for Andy Moog. I don't know. I really don't know what kind of strategy you can have against a guy like Clark Gillies. I guess maybe you just better let him stand there and try and, you know, take the puck first instead of the man, because he's so big they have no chance to move him out.
Before play even gets underway, he and Gary LaRiviere, you can see at the bottom of your screen, are doing some shoving as they await the start of the faceoff. Mike Bossy with the puck. Bossy to Trottier, deflection, the save, the puck is loose, and out comes Edmonton. A pass on the left side, Messier shot, and it's deflected. In the corner, picked up by Trottier. He's having difficulty there with Hunter. A blind pass that's kept in by LaRiviere. And finally picked off by McEwen. McEwen at his own line is forced to circle with 55 seconds left in the penalty. The Potvin, he almost overskated it. He has to reorganize in the center ice area to Trottier. Trottier off the boards for Bossy. Bossy trying to play it back to Trottier, and it's picked off by Anderson, who dumps it down the ice.
Good penalty killing by Glenn Anderson. When they force the New York Islanders, it seems to me they do a better job of penalty killing. When they give them time to set up, they can get themselves in real trouble.
30 seconds left in the penalty to Kevin Lowe. Right side to Bossy. He's hit right on the line. It's dropped back by Anderson. Anderson has Gretzky with him. Anderson tried a back pass that was well behind Gretzky, and Goring goes to the corner with 16 seconds left in the penalty. Butch Goring, who can fly in across the line. Getting around Siltanen. Goring out front. It's deflected over top of the net. Picked up in the corner by Tonelli. Tonelli back to Potvin. Edmonton at full strength center. They scramble. And somehow Moog manages to grab it.
Well, he was sitting down with his legs spread wide apart, and they fired the puck right at his head, and he said thank you with his glove and picked it off. What a tremendous save by Andy Moog. Watch him down there. Here's the first save coming up. And there he's down, and watch it come right into his... There it is. Boy, is that... He's just got one of the quickest glove hands I've ever seen.
It almost seems, Jerry, as though he will give you the stick side, protect the stick side, and give you that opening on the glove side, sort of teasing you, tempting you to shoot there.
Well, absolutely. He's obviously got a lot of confidence in his glove hand, and why not? It's a lot easier to move your glove hand than it is your stick hand. It's pretty simple goaltending by Andy Moog, but very, very spectacular.
5:40 left in this opening period. It's 1-0 New York. The Oilers back at full strength. Hicks up along the boards. Messier having trouble. Out front now to Merrick. His shot is wide. Nystrom along the boards. Back of the net. The puck loose out front, and it's picked up by Gretzky. Gretzky with Yeri Curry across the line. Curry moving into the slot. Backhand shot that hit Lane's stick. Along the boards, Nystrom dumping it ahead for Merrick. Merrick in across the line, tried to leave it there, and it's picked off by the Oilers' Risto Siltanen. Siltanen trying to get away from Sutter, dodges a check and plays it ahead to Callaghan. Callaghan trying to go through the defense. The puck bounces high. It's loose. Picked up by Gretzky. Gretzky to Curry. A shot. Back to Vogelin. He shoots, and it's wide. It ricochets off the boards to center ice. 4:50 left in the opening period. Now it's Callaghan again to Curry. On the right side, Vogelin. Vogelin at the line is stopped, manages to get it to Gretzky. Gretzky working from the corner, feeding it out to Curry. Curry tried to get a shot, but it was knocked off his stick back to the neutral zone. Now it's Kevin Lowe losing it to Nystrom at center ice. The puck loose there, and Curry manages to come back, flip it ahead to Gretzky. He dodges a check, and Lane shoots it into Edmonton territory. Icing will be called as Kevin Lowe touches it. 4:15 left in this opening period. 1-0. New York leading Edmonton.
It's coming. The game of the week. With the biggest stars, the hardest hits, and non-stop action. Go inside the glass when the Bruins face off against the Rangers in an Eastern Conference rivalry. The game of the week is on NBC.
Now available on DVD, Pittsburgh Penguins' greatest game box set, the greatest Stanley Cup Final Game 7s box set, Stanley Cup Championship DVDs, and more. Available wherever DVDs are sold and at shop.nhl.com.
Hockey, it's more than a game. For some, it's their faith, their commitment. Less than a religion, but not by much. Refined throughout history, but unchanged in its enduring simplicity. Played by a group of men whose hearts pump life beneath a crest for which they would sacrifice body and soul. It is a ferocious ballet of speed and skill, force and bravery. Beautifully captured in all its splendor on NHL DVDs from Warner Home Entertainment. The history, the legends, the moments, the glory. Own it today.
Coyotes Wild, tomorrow at 6 Eastern on the NHL Network.
The Islanders have played a pretty well-disciplined brand of hockey so far in the first period, Don. What they've tried to do in their strategy, as I mentioned, they're taking the body, and not all the time are they trying to drive them out into the racetrack. They're just getting in front of them enough, and particularly Gretzky, so that they can't get a handle on the puck and make a play. And they're doing it in the offensive end of the rink. They're doing it in Edmonton's end of the rink, and it's just really proved to be a tremendous strategy in this first period. Whether or not they can do this for a whole game is another story. Generally, if a guy like Gretzky is patient during the course of 60 minutes, he'll get lots of opportunities.
Face off to the left of Bill Smith, Matty Hagman and Butch Goring in the circle. They'll do it again. That helmet of Butch Goring's has seen a lot of miles and a lot of hockey games. He's had it since he's been 11 years old.
Well, I remember him wearing it when he was playing juniors in Winnipeg when I was living there, and it's been to Los Angeles. It's been all over the place.
Around the world with the Canadian national team. The Riviere's weak shot. Deflected back of the goal. Marini against the boards, being bodied by Anderson. He scored the game's only goal, and finally they force a face-off in the New York zone.
If that helmet still fits him now, Don, you got to wonder what the size of his head when he was 11 years old.
Yes, Butch was telling me at breakfast that he's put a lot of tape with that helmet to keep it intact. Dave Langevin was struck in the jaw by deflected shots in the game in New York on Wednesday night, and there was concern that he may have suffered a fractured jaw. Fortunately for Langevin, that was not the case. Stephen Pearson already out of the lineup with an injury that was sustained exactly the same way. A shot deflected up into his face, and he broke his jaw. Now it's Anderson coming out of his own zone. 3:46 left in the opening period. Anderson shoots it in. Smith at the side of the net, playing it back at the goal, up along the boards. It's kicked free, kept in by the Riviere. Back at the goal, McEwen up along the boards, but kept in by Messier. McEwen and Messier fight for it. Hagman comes up with it. Hagman trying to center it. It goes off the skate. Back to the net, it's loose again. Cleared up along the boards, but not out. Langevin is fighting there with Anderson. Finally, it's pulled free, and the Islanders start out. Carroll, left side to Tonelli. Tonelli centering it. Marini couldn't quite catch up with the play. Now the Oilers start out 3-on-2. Anderson in across the line and dropped it for Hagman, and Hagman didn't see it. Hector Marini bodied against the boards. The puck loose in the corner. Tonelli lost his stick. And Glenn Anderson picks it up for Edmonton. A lead pass for Unger, too far for him. The Islanders go back into their own zone with 2:46 left in this opening period. A 1-0 hockey game. New York ahead of Edmonton. Siltanen at his own line. Dodging a check off the boards for Unger. He flips it in. Puck loose in the corner. Out front, Unger. Kick shot. Off the backboards. It's picked up by Lane. Almost a costly error in their own zone by the Islanders. Lane takes a shot, and it's deflected by Moog up into the crowd. 2:19 left in this opening period. It's 1-0 New York. What a job Dave Hunter has done, first of all, in checking Guy Lafleur in the Montreal series, then in playing me and my shadow with Mike Bossy.
Yeah, he really has, and you know, he's done some good body work too. He's been pretty physical, which he wasn't during the course of the season. And what an advantage when you can throw out a Davey Hunter against a great scorer on an opposition team. And if you don't think that's true, just ask Montreal when they throw out Bob Gainey to cover somebody.
Well, wherever you're looking in this evening across this country, I hope you're enjoying this 6th game of the quarterfinal round involving New York and Edmonton. The Islanders, of course, leading by a score of 3-2 and 1-0 in tonight's hockey game. Merrick into the face-off circle against Gary Unger. Lowe takes the puck from the face-off. Ahead to Callaghan. Callaghan in across the line. His shot went off. Hot man to the corner. The puck is loose. Picked up by Hughes. To Callaghan. Back to the line. Lowe was not in position. And the puck goes out to center ice. Now it's Hughes to Unger. Unger is forced to circle at center ice. Gary Unger pass on the wing for Callaghan. And Callaghan hammers it in. And then he is dealt with by Sutter in front of the New York bench. Now Callaghan tried to step into Morrow, but it's brought out by Merrick. Merrick across the line, drop pass for Nystrom. He tried to beat Sutter on the right side. Sutter is bodied by Hughes. Oh, is there some good hitting taking place in this first period tonight as they tie it up for another face-off.
And we haven't seen anything too dirty, high sticking and elbowing and things like that. The hits have all been good. The one Dwayne Sutter laid on Brett Callaghan was an awful good hit. Al Arbor doesn't change his expression very much either during the course of the game. He could be up 10-0 or down 5-0, and he just looks the same.
Well, I must say tonight he's giving that chewing gum a pretty good workout.
Well, I think it's free, isn't it?
1:31 is the time left in this opening period. Hector Marini scoring the game's only goal from Gillies and Trottier at 4:54. Kurt Brackenberry has come back onto the ice, his second shift of the game. That produces a response from this pro Edmonton crowd. 17,600 approximately in attendance tonight. Coffey back of his own goal, up along the boards to Brackenberry. Brackenberry into the center ice area for Hunter. Hunter in across the line, but he put himself offside.
Four paws and one big shaggy heart. Doesn't he deserve to be covered too? Introducing pet injury coverage from Progressive. Now when Progressive covers your car, we cover your pet at no extra charge. Now that's Progressive. Go to progressive.com or call a local independent agent.
For 40 years, the Pittsburgh Penguins have provided some of the NHL's most unforgettable moments. And now you can relive them with the Penguins' 10 Greatest Games box set, as voted on by the fans.
Moves in towards the goaltender, shoots, he scores!
Hosted by Mike Lang, the original broadcasts capture all the amazing action.
Oh, you'd have to be here to believe it!
Available wherever DVDs are sold or shop NHL.com.
In this jersey, I pledge to wreak havoc on my opponent's plus-minus.
To make one-timers happen way more than once.
I pledge that my team will scrap for every single point on the schedule.
In this jersey, I pledge that holes are only holes if they're open.
Shop.NHL.com presents the RBK Edge jersey. All 30 teams reinvented for more strength, more speed, more belief.
In this jersey, I pledge to play for the logo on the front, not the name on the back.
What do you pledge? Visit shop.NHL.com for your jersey.
Watch Ovechkin fly like Bure. See Phaneuf smash like Stevens.
Malkin! Sensational!
In a new generation of NHL stars, there are remnants of the past. The Just Like Me DVD shows how a new group of heroes is influenced by hockey's greatest generation.
You want to talk about good young talent?
Available January 22nd wherever DVDs are sold or shop NHL.com.
Oh my goodness!
Face off to the right of Bill Smith. Messier is out there with Hagman and Anderson now. Another big shift unit for New York. They've got Anders Galur out there with Brian Trottier and Merrick. Trottier has logged a lot of ice time already in this hockey game. Messier to Hagman. Hagman trying to control it along the boards, having difficulties. Messier comes in there as well. So does Hicks from the line. Here's Hagman with the puck. Back to the line. Some of the line's up. And it hit Merrick. And Merrick dumps it down the ice, but there's a penalty coming up. Lane and Anderson get sticks up at each other. Now Messier comes charging in. That was the result of some bumping in front of the net.
Well, that's the first time we've seen the sticks up. Both of them are going to get a penalty for that. And that's something you don't want to see with pretty well played first period and not a whole lot of that.
Well, I'm not quite sure who is going off. It definitely appears as though Gordy Lane or Brian Trottier might be heading for the penalty box. I'm not sure whether Lane is following as well.
Well, there's the shot by Silton, and it's blocked here by the Islanders. Looking in front of the net. There you see Lane. I believe it was cross-check on Matty Hagman. And Lane and Trottier get penalties for the Islanders.
And Mark Messier for Edmonton. Messier's penalty, the result of the words he exchanged with Lane after the penalty had been initially called against Brian Trottier.
Well, I think they exchanged a little more than words. He looked like he was trying to stick his stick down Lane's throat, but
Dennis Potvin now discussing the penalties assessed against his team with referee Brian Lewis.
This is a tough situation for the Islanders, Don, mainly because they're only going to have 3 men out in the ice plus their goalie, and the Edmonton Oilers are going to have 4 plus their goalie, and it's a lot easier to operate a power play when you're playing 4 against 3 than it is 5 against 4, not counting the goaltenders.
Well, the initial penalty against Trottier as he drove the Edmonton player Anderson into the goalpost for interference. Then Lane and Messier got sticks up against each other using the high sticking call in 1946. 14 seconds the time left in the period. 1-0 New York leading Edmonton. From the face-off, Anderson is upset. Gretzky takes the puck behind the goal. Gretzky out front. Anderson found on it. Hagman with it. Back to the line. Silverman to Hagman. Hagman shoots. Glove save. The puck loose at the side of the net. And it's cleared down the ice as the siren sounds to end the first period.
Well, I think a tremendous play by Denny Potvin there in the last couple of seconds. They had 2 Islanders up by the blue line. They passed it over to, I believe it was Hagman, and Potvin just got right out of the way and let the Islanders goalie Billy Smith see the puck all the way from the blue line. It wasn't a dangerous shot.
Hector Marini, the marksman, the only marksman in the first period, and the score at the end of 1 is New York 1, Edmonton 0.
How a new group of heroes is influenced by hockey's greatest generation. Available January 22nd wherever DVDs are sold or shop NHL.com.
All hockey, all the time. You're watching the NHL Network. Tomorrow, if you like high-flying hockey, then get ready as Gretzky's Coyotes trek north to Minnesota to battle speedster Marian Gaborik and the Wild. Coyotes Wild, tomorrow at 6 Eastern on the NHL Network.
8 minutes into the second period, and the Detroit Red Wings lead the Montreal Canadiens 3-2.
The game has changed. So should the way you watch it. NHL Network, the home of hockey. Available in HD.
Is this the year the Cup comes to Buffalo?
To Carolina? To Pittsburgh? Is this the year someone scores 50 in 38?
In 37?
In 36? Is this the year someone scores 200 points?
Is this the year kids start taping their sticks like Stahl?
Is this the year someone scores 93?
Is this the year a forward becomes unstoppable?
Is this the year a goalie stops everything?
Is this the year we finally figure out who's Dad's favorite?
Is this the year?
Is this the year?
Этот год?
Is this the year?
Is this the year?
One goal here at the Northlands Coliseum. That coming at the 4:54 mark of the opening period. Hector Marini set up as he cut in by Clark Gillies. Brian Trottier also drew an assist. The Islanders out shooting the Oilers by a margin of 9-8. To start the second period, the Islanders will be a man shy. Brian Trottier and Gord Lane are in the penalty box. Mark Messier is in there for Edmonton. So for 1 minute and 46 seconds, Edmonton will have the man advantage. In the center ice area, it's Siltanen over to Anderson. Anderson lost it to Goring. Here's the break, and Anderson got back there to poke it away. Now it's Gretzky on the left side. In across the line, Gretzky in the slot, over to Siltanen, shot, save, as it was up high on Smith, and he caught that one on the shoulder. Back of the goal, it's Gretzky out front. Siltanen moving in, shot, save. The puck loose, back to the line. To Gretzky. Gretzky going back to the line for Edmonton. Gretzky winds up, he scores!
Well, Gretzky looks around. They're playing that triangle pretty well, and he doesn't see anybody to move it to, so he just winds up and blasts it by Billy Smith. Watch this, he'll move into the middle of the ice, and watch the triangle they're playing. They do a pretty good job of it. They let him move in for the shot, and he just winds up and lets it go.
Jerry, I think you have to give some credit to Glenn Anderson, who was positioned in front of that net. He was screening Bill Smith as Gretzky, moving back to the line, wound up with that slap shot. And that is his 21st playoff point.
Well, there's no doubt Anderson deserves a lot of credit. Just as Gretzky let the shot go, Anderson got cross-checked from behind. And I'm not so sure Billy Smith had a good look at that.
Curry and Anderson drawing assists at 39 seconds. So the teams are now playing four aside with Lane and Messier still in the penalty box. Here's Coffey with a shot, and it's gloved by Bill Smith and dropped back to the net for Potvin. Potvin gets away from Unger. In across the line, his shot hit a player. Picked up by Unger. Rink-wide pass for Paul Coffey. Coffey dumps it ahead for Hunter. Hunter in across the line, a weak shot that is handled easily by Smith, steered to the corner. Hunter goes in against the boards. He's pinned there by Morrow. Coming back to pick up the loose puck is Bossy. Bossy circling to get away from Hunter. A pass to Langevin. He shoots it in. Moog stops it back at the goal for Coffey as the Islanders make a change. Coffey gets away from Merrick. Coffey in across the line, working to the corner, still controlling it, finally losing it to Mike McEwen. The penalized players are back on the ice. McEwen for New York, across the line, is it knocked away by Gretzky, who did a good job of back-checking. The fans react as Gretzky comes down the ice. A pass over on the left side, and Messier was a stride offside. Lee Fogeland's holding penalty, the result of that flurry of action in front of the Edmonton goal. They'll face off again. Gretzky and Trottier were in the circle.
Something strange a little bit out there, Don. Gretzky's taking the draws, and earlier in the season we saw Mark Messier take the most important Edmonton draws, and I just wonder if there isn't something wrong with Messier that he isn't out there taking the draws.
From the face-off, it's cleared into the neutral zone as Potvin goes back. Up along the boards to Bossy, ahead to Clark Gillies. And across the line, slap shot, saved by Moog. Back to Potvin, into the corner to Gillies. Gillies trying to center it, broken up by Gretzky. Gretzky dumps it out to center ice. The puck loose, it's picked up by Bossy, but it was played ahead with a hand.
Well, Big Gillies does a heck of a job on the power play. When he doesn't have the puck like he did there, his job is to go to the front of the net, as so many teams have done now. Even the Oilers have picked it up, and they're oftentimes have sent Dave Semenko out on the power play in this series to stand in front of the Islanders' net. And again, there's nothing you can do with Semenko. He's 6'4" and big and strong, and they just can't move him out.
Well, a little altercation involving Potvin and Dave Hunter taking place in the neutral zone.
Well, again, Don, I've got to believe what the Oilers are trying to do is get Potvin off the ice, and it's a smart move because he plays about 45 minutes a game, particularly with Stefan Pearson injured. But it doesn't look like he's going to fall for it.
You know, as much as anything, Jerry, I think the Islanders missed Pearson back on that power play because he was an excellent puck handler like Potvin.
No doubt about that. And they also missed Bobby Bourne up front.
Bobby Bourne did not accompany the team on this trip to Edmonton. He missed the last game as well. Pass on the right side for Bossy. Bossy over to Potvin. He had a little difficulty controlling it. Potvin now back to the line. Bossy winding up right on, and the save is made by Moog, and the puck cleared to center ice. Mike McEwen now bringing it back for New York. At the line, it's played in, but offside is charged against the Islanders.
Denny Potvin often will, as the Oiler defenders turn their back, will try and sneak in behind him for that shot from the left side, and he can really whistle it. But I'll tell you something about Denny Potvin's shot that I've noticed in this series. It's always up high, and as a forward, you'd never catch me in front of the net trying to tip it in.
1:02 is the time left in the penalty to Lee Fogelin.
You might score a goal and lose all your teeth in the process.
Face-off just outside the Edmonton line. Hunter is waved out of the circle. Anderson moves in. On the face-off, it's flipped into the Edmonton zone and then fired the length of the ice by Paul Coffey. Potvin going back of his own goal. Right side pass to Bossy. Bossy to Trottier across the line. Trottier back to Potvin. Potvin to Trottier. Out front, Bossy trying to get into position. He couldn't get a shot away. Now it's Bossy back to the line to Potvin. Potvin to the other side. McEwen moving in. Shot saved as Moog got a leg on it. Now it's Anderson taken out of the play at the New York line by Potvin. It's brought back by McEwen on the right wing to Bossy. A centering pass, and it slid over for the stick of goaltender Andy Moog. Bossy trying to feed it out front to Tonelli. It bounces back to the line. Potvin trying to keep it in. He's having trouble with Gretzky. Tonelli comes in to help out, and then it's flipped down the ice as the Oilers return to full strength. Well, the Oilers did a pretty good job of killing off that penalty. Potvin bringing it in, but Tonelli is offside on the left wing.
A pretty electric atmosphere in this place this afternoon. Wow, was that sweet? Oh, Lee Michael! Oh, what a hit. Whoa, the fans getting an eyeful here tonight. The Anaheim Ducks are the Stanley Cup champions.
Every Stanley Cup final has thrilling moments, but perhaps none more memorable than a Game 7 for the right to hoist Lord Stanley.
The waiting is over!
Now, with the Game 7 Collection DVD box set, you can relive these unforgettable contests.
And after 22 years, Raymond
hosted by Craig Simpson. Available wherever DVDs are sold or shop NHL.com.
Hockey Fights Cancer has raised more than $9 million for cancer care, research, and awareness. Don't give up. Join our hockey family in the fight against cancer. Log on to NHL.com and join the fight. Don't give up.
For 40 years, the Pittsburgh Penguins have provided some of the NHL's most unforgettable moments. And now you can relive them with the Penguins' 10 Greatest Games box set, as voted on by the fans.
Moves in towards the goaltender, shoots, he scores!
Hosted by Mike Lang, the original broadcasts capture all the amazing action.
Oh, you'd have to be here to believe it!
Available wherever DVDs are sold or shop NHL.com.
Don Whitman along with Jerry Pinder, Howie Maker, and John Wells. 14:46 left in the second period. The score involving New York and Edmonton tied at 1. Good hit in the corner as the Edmonton Oilers' Brett Callaghan upended Anders Kallur. Now it's Curry in across the line. Feeding it back to the point. Silverman winds up, and Smith got his blocker up there to knock it down. Lane in across the line, trying to feed it to Tonelli. Tonelli is taken in against the boards. The puck goes loose. Tonelli manages to kick it free, then falls, and Gretzky comes up with it. Gretzky loses it. Here's Kallur, a shot, and he whistled it wide. Tonelli trying to center it, and it is picked off by the Oilers' Jari Kurri. On the left side, Callaghan flips it in across the line. Lane goes back for New York and plays it off the boards and down the ice. This will result in an icing call as it's touched by Risto Silverman. Well, Wayne Gretzky very nearly put the Oilers behind by 1, giving it away to Kallur.
You don't see Gretzky do that very often. There we see Gretzky carrying it out, and he actually loses it. It rolls off his stick. Kallur picks it up, but I thought he probably should have moved in. He had all the room in the world. Could have gone in another 10 feet, but he got the shot away a little too quickly, and he didn't get good wood on it either.
Face off to the left of Bill Smith. Back of his own goal. Langevin playing it up along the boards to Sutter. Sutter unable to get it out. It's to Hagman. Hagman tried to feed it in front. Anderson takes it into the corner with Morrow. He's bodied. The puck goes loose. However, New York cannot get it out. Here's Anderson trying to move into the slot, and he had it poked away neatly by Morrow. Now Sutter flips it into the Edmonton zone. Race for it into the corner. Fogelin got there. He was unable to get away from Merrick, however. The puck goes loose. Nystrom is in there for New York. Round the boards to Sutter. Sutter back to the point to Morrow. Morrow shoots, and it winds up in the uniform of Fogelin and falls to the ice. A long lead pass too far for Glenn Anderson. It slides down the ice into the New York zone, and the Oilers are charged with icing with 13:01 left to play in period 2.
One thing the Oilers should be conscious of in this game, Don, Denny Potvin having to play as much hockey as he does, and it's an old strategy used by, first I believe, by Fred Shero against Bobby Orr. When they get over that center red line, if the Islander defense are standing up, they should dump that puck in the corner, get into Potvin's corner, get him to chase it. If the guy's going to play 45 minutes a game, make him carry the puck. Take his body every chance you get, and by the third period, you can only hope that he's going to be worn down, because I thought he played a whale of a game in New York the other night.
Lorimer's shot right on, a loose puck in front, and it's cleared by Lowe. Lowe picks it up in the corner, into the center ice area to Anderson. Anderson over on the wing to Messier, back to Anderson, to Messier. Out front, Anderson stops and put it up over the board, over the net, into the board. Here's Fogelin with a drive, and it goes off Merrick's stick. Out front again, and Anderson couldn't get his stick on it. The Oilers had a great opportunity to move ahead with Anderson in the slot, shooting it high and wide. Here's Anderson again moving in. A weak shot that deflected up to the goal mouth. Billy Smith was down, but Hagman couldn't get his stick on it. Now a right wing pass for Marini. It's broken up. Lorimer goes back into his own zone to Lane. Lane knocked it ahead into the center ice area. He has lost his stick. Lorimer trying to dump it down the ice. Finally, Lane gets over to the box to make a change. He had lost his stick. Now bringing it in is Coffey. Coffey shoots the save. The rebound. They bang away. The puck is loose in front of the net. And finally, Carroll gets it. Carroll for New York. His shot is wide. Off the board. Picked up by Bossy. Bossy trying to play it out front. Here's Gillies. Tremendous action at both ends of the rink as it's dumped in and then fired right back out. Bossy ahead to Carroll. Carroll in across the line. Gillies is going for the front of the net. Carroll tried to center it. He was hammered into the boards by Coffey. Gary Unger goes back at the goal. He's trying to pin it against the boards. It's pulled free by Carroll. Carroll to the line to McEwen. A shot. A deflection, and it went wide. Picked up by Carroll as the Islanders are applying pressure. McEwen winding up. A shot and a save. And we've got a penalty as the Oilers, Gary Unger and Clark Gillies are down on the ice in front of the net. Clark Gillies, a Regina Pat graduate, the Islanders' #1 choice in '74, going off with a holding call at 8:59.
Well, the Islanders aren't very happy about that, and I don't blame them. I thought the penalty was going to Paul Coffey for taking down Mike Bossy in front of the net, but obviously there was something that we didn't see with Gillies and Gary Unger.
The Islanders weren't at all pleased with that call. Now the Oilers will have a man advantage. Wayne Gretzky let the shot go from the point, deflected by Anderson. He has been credited with that goal. At 39 seconds into this second period on the power play. Siltanen back behind his own net. He's a good puck carrier. Now it's Hicks. Hicks bringing it in, tried to steal it in on the left side. It's broken up by the Islanders. A long shot, and it's right on as Moog has to make the save.
Well, again, the Oiler power play has been a little ineffective in the early part of the game, but Wayne Gretzky's got to get a hold of the puck. He's going to have to come back in a little deeper, Don, as we see the Islander forwards forechecking very well.
Gary Curry in across the line, gets it over to Callaghan. Callaghan going back at the net, looking for Gretzky, and Smith came out of his goal to make the play. Now it's cleared down the ice by New York. Ryan Trottier dumping it out of there as Siltanen goes back. There's Gretzky floating in that center ice area. He takes the pass to Callaghan. He couldn't control it. And it's fired back down the ice by New York. 55 seconds left in the penalty. So far, Edmonton has not had a shot on goal.
Well, watch the Islanders chase the puck now. Watch Carroll on Siltanen. He's right after him. Then when the puck gets away from Carroll and they move it up, it's the second Islander penalty killer, Butch Goring taking over.
Here's Gretzky moving in across the line. And apparently Callaghan on the wing went offside.
But that's aggressive penalty killing, Don. When both forwards killing penalties for the Islanders are in the Edmonton Oilers end of the rink. And first Carroll went at Siltanen, who had the puck. And when Siltanen moved the puck up, Carroll just circled out of the zone, and Butch Goring went right after the puck carrier. And that is very aggressive penalty killing.
Carroll's done quite a job, this graduate of the London Knights. 36 seconds remaining in the penalty to Clark Gillies. 9:37 the time left in period 2 with the score tied at 1. Potvin back into his own zone, ahead to Goring. He simply deflects it down the ice. Coffey goes back after it. Ahead to Messier. Messier dumping it to Anderson. Anderson breaking in. A shot and a save by Smith as Anderson got that shot away as he was falling. Messier and LaRiviere get in too deep, and it's dumped back down the ice. Coffey, lead pass into the center ice area, broken up by the Islanders. Now trying it again, LaRiviere. LaRiviere dropped it. There was nobody there, and Clark Gillies is back in the ice as the Islanders are at full strength. It's dumped in, but Edmonton fired it over the line offside.
In this jersey, I pledge to wreak havoc on my opponent's plus-minus.
To make one-timers happen way more than once.
I pledge that my team will scrap for every single point on the schedule.
In this jersey, I pledge that holes are only holes if they're open.
Shop.nhl.com presents the RBK Edge jersey. All 30 teams reinvented for more strength, more speed, more belief.
In this jersey, I pledge to play for the logo on the front, not the name on the back.
What do you pledge? Visit shop.nhl.com for your jersey.
Watch Ovechkin fly like Bure. See Phaneuf smash like Stevens.
Malkin! Sensational!
In a new generation of NHL stars, there are remnants of the past. The Just Like Me DVD shows how a new group of heroes is influenced by hockey's greatest generation.
You want to talk about good young talent?
Available January 22nd wherever DVDs are sold or shop NHL.com.
Oh my goodness!
8 minutes into the second period, and the Detroit Red Wings lead the Montreal Canadiens 3-2.
The game has changed. So should the way you watch it. NHL Network, the home of hockey. Available in HD.
Is this the year the Cup comes to Buffalo?
To Carolina?
To Pittsburgh?
Is this the year someone scores 50 and 38?
And 37.
In 36? Is this the year someone scores 200 points?
Is this the year kids start taping their sticks like Stahl?
Is this the year someone scores 93?
Is this the year a forward becomes unstoppable?
Is this the year a goalie stops everything?
Is this the year we finally figure out who's Dad's favorite?
Is this the year? Is this the year?
Этот год? Is this the year?
Is this the year?
Well, the face-off will take place just outside the New York line. Brackenbury and Nystrom squaring off against each other, watching each other closely as New York moves it around in the Islander zone. Brought out now by McEwen, a long shot, wide and off the boards. Nystrom and Brackenbury collide. Brackenbury comes up with the puck. Nystrom steps into him again. Now it's Unger, ahead to Fogelin. Fogelin had it poked away by McEwen. It's dumped out to the center ice area. Pass on the right side for Merrick. He's got Sutter with him to Sutter, and he couldn't control it as Fogelin slams him into the board, as Fogelin's getting a penalty.
The fans don't like that, Don, but if we get a chance to look at that again, I don't think there's much doubt about that. And Lee Fogelin got a holding penalty as he took Dwayne Sutter into the boards, and I thought possibly they could have called a charging penalty as well on that. He's got him wrapped up from about the blue line in.
It's a good thing the glass and those boards are firmly secured at that end of the rink.
Well, he does a well of a job as a captain of this club, and he not only is he very steady defensively, but he also helps out Andy Moog. He's blocked an awful lot of shots.
He wasn't appointed captain of the team on a permanent basis until late in the season. I don't know whether it's coincidence or not, but that's when the Oilers seemed to really gel as a team and put together a streak that carried them into the playoffs, and then the playoff success, first against Montreal and here against the Islanders. Now it's Clark Gilly along the board, over to Butch Goring at the point. Goring had some difficulty controlling it. Out front, Trottier, shot, the save, they bang away, and somehow Andy Moog kept that out with Trottier banging away at it and standing right on top of him.
Well, this young man is absolutely everywhere. Watch Trottier go after the rebound now. The puck is loose, Moog covers up, but Trottier's in there banging away at it. And he's made 4 saves tonight, Don, that I thought were sure goals. He's been that good.
The native of Penticton, British Columbia. His father played with the Penticton Bees a few years back when they won the World Championship. Gary LaRiviere has made quite a difference to this Edmonton Hockey Club since he was acquired in a late season deal, Quebec to to Vancouver and then to the Oilers. Brought out by Edmonton on the left side. Hunter breaking in, and he's shot wide. Gretzky races in from the point. A penalty upcoming here against New York, and Dennis Potvin will be going off.
Well, John, there's no question about that penalty at all. I can't believe that Potvin would do a dumb thing like that. Hunter had taken the shot and was skating out of the play. Absolutely no danger of scoring a goal on the Islanders. And Potvin gave him a high stick across the face for no reason at all. And he gets it for high sticking.
I suppose it's as much that they respect his hockey ability as anything else, that they boo Potvin and cheer the fact that he picked up the penalty. They realize that this man has an awful lot of talent.
Well, that's the way it is when Guy Lafleur comes in here. That's the way it is when Marcel Dion comes in here. That's right. They're booing because they respect his hockey ability. I'm sure Gretzky gets some of that around the other arenas in the National Hockey League.
6:58 is the time left in period 2 with the score tied at 1. A minute 27 left in the penalty to Fogelin. And of course, Potvin has just gone off.
That's really the first time in the series that I can remember that I've seen Potvin lose his cool, and there was no need for it at that point. Hunter wasn't going to bother him. He was actually skating away from the play.
Now it seems that another change. No, Hunter is just moving over to the right side for this face-off, lining up against Gord Lane. Merrick got the draw back to Lane. Lane comes out of his own zone on the right side to Kallur. Kallur going for the goal. He scores! Anders Kallur picking the far corner.
Andy Moog hugging that goalpost gave Anders Kallur a little bit of room. Watch him put it in lower right-hand corner of the net. Brings the puck to his forehand, and Moog's hugging the goalpost. You'd think there's nowhere to shoot, but he got it by him. Good play here by Gordy Lane to start it off. Look at him go to his forehand.
Anders Kallur, who has been only used sparingly. There's the shot by Curry. It ricochets off the boards to the line to Gretzky. Gretzky to Curry. Back to Gretzky. Gretzky over on the wing to Siltanen. Siltanen is forced to dump it in, but it's intercepted by Merrick. Gretzky goes back to the goal, trying to poke it free. It comes up along the boards. Kallur having difficulties trying to get it out of there against Hicks. And the Islanders play it around the boards to the other side to Lane. And Lane shoots it down the ice. Kallur has had a groin problem since the start of the playoffs. This is only his third playoff game, and he has put the Islanders ahead. So it's 2-1. The Flyers leading the Flames. 2-1 the score here at the Northlands Coliseum. The Islanders leading the Oilers with 6:13 left in the second period. Langevin from the faceoff plays it ahead to Trottier. He feeds Bossy. Bossy dumps it into the Edmonton zone. Intercepted by Coffey. He almost had it taken away by Bossy. Brought back by Gary Unger. Unger trying to go around Langevin. Langevin tied him up, and Trottier comes back. Hunter and Trottier fight for it in the corner. They hold it against the boards for a faceoff.
And you know, the question is always asked, how are they going to handle Wayne Gretzky? Well, the Islanders feel that Trottier, Goring, Merrick, and Carroll, if they choose to put him out there, can handle him. We haven't really seen Al Arbor trying to match anybody against Wayne Gretzky. I think if he had his choice, he would put Brian Trottier against him, but it appears that Glenn Sather wants Gary Unger out against Trottier, and that's what we're seeing most of the night, but it doesn't seem to bother the Islanders. They're very, very confident in their centerman.
Unger is out there with Pat Hughes. Coffey at the Riviera back in the line. Carroll and Trottier for New York. Langevin and Morrow. The Olympic hero, Morrow, behind his own goal. To Trottier, who dumps it to center ice. Now it's fired in again by Unger. Langevin again back behind his goal, having difficulties there with Hughes. The Oilers are back at full strength. 28 seconds remaining in the penalty to Potvin. Trottier ahead to Carroll in the center ice area. And Carroll goes back into his own zone before dumping it out. Now it's Anderson. He's up under in the center ice zone. The fans reacting. Thought there should have been a penalty. However, I think Anderson just slipped and fell with a little push from the Islanders. Now on the left side, Messier breaking for the corner. Messier going back at the goal. Out front! And Anderson deflected it. It hit the side of the net. New York is back at full strength. In against the boards. Anderson is there. Goring also holds it for the faceoff.
A pretty electric atmosphere in this place this afternoon. Wow, was that sweet? What a hit. The fans getting an eyeful here tonight. The Anaheim Ducks are the Stanley Cup champions.
Every Stanley Cup final has thrilling moments, but perhaps none more memorable than a Game 7 for the right to hoist Lord Stanley.
The waiting is over!
Now, with the Game 7 Collection DVD box set, you can relive these unforgettable contests.
And after 22 years, Raymond Mark!
Hosted by Craig Simpson. Available wherever DVDs are sold or shop NHL.com.
Hockey Fights Cancer has raised more than $9 million for cancer care, research, and awareness.
Don't give up.
Join our hockey family in the fight against cancer. Log on to NHL.com and join the fight.
Don't give up.
For 40 years, the Pittsburgh Penguins have provided some of the NHL's most unforgettable moments. And now you can relive them with the Penguins' 10 Greatest Games box set, as voted on by the fans.
This moves in towards the goaltender, shoots, he scores!
Hosted by Mike Lang, the original broadcasts capture all the amazing action.
Oh, you'd have to be here to believe it!
Available wherever DVDs are sold or shop NHL.com.
Shot blocked by Marini. Nystrom picks up the loose puck and brings it in for New York. It's dumped back out to the center ice area. Good play by Risto Siltanen. And as soon as the Islanders vacate the offensive zone, they fire it in again. Now it's Anderson. Trying a lead pass. It went off the skate into the New York zone. Lorimer is there. Up on the wing to Marini. Here's a chance for Nystrom. Nystrom moving in. Shot fired!
Well, Nystrom fired the puck to one place that Andy Moog is vulnerable, right between his legs. Here's the play over to Nystrom, breaking in. Now watch Moog go down and watch the puck between his legs. That's the one place he's vulnerable because of the way he goes down. He plays similar style to Tony Esposito. There it is, right between the legs.
And you know, just outside the Islander dressing room this afternoon, Bob Nystrom was taping a couple of sticks, and I was talking to him and commenting on the great glove hand that young Andy Moog has, and he said that's one of our problems. We've been putting it up high. We have to keep it low. He did just that. Well, it's 3-1 now for the Islanders. 4 minutes remaining in the second period. Potvin circling in his own zone. I would suggest that once the Islanders get a 2-goal margin, they are going to be very, very tough. They can afford to be patient with a lead. And the experience may certainly be to their advantage in the final minutes of this second period and the third. Now it's Curry in the center ice area. Callaghan had difficulty controlling it. Finally gets it over to Kevin Lowe. Lowe coming in on the wing. It's broken up by Morrow. And New York dumps it down the ice. Going back after it is Curry with 3:25 left in period 2. Curry shot it in, but Callaghan was offside. Nystrom from Morini and Lorimer, the official on that New York goal. And the Islanders, late in the second period, have taken a 2-goal lead. First Anders Kallur breaking the tie, and then Nystrom adding the third goal. Now it's McEwen in his own zone, having difficulties with Gary Unger. Manages to get it back. Ahead to Bossy, to Trottier. Trottier in the corner with Gillies cutting for the goal. Trottier feeding it out front. There's nobody there. Dave Hunter brings it back for Edmonton. Unger trying to catch up with the play. Drop pass to Unger, a quick shot, and it went off Langevin, who dropped in front of it. Bossy is bodied by Hunter. The puck goes loose over to Langevin. Langevin tried to get it ahead to Gillies, but it was picked off by Anderson. However, he fired it in offside.
A veteran hockey club like the New York Islanders shouldn't have any problem with a 3-1 lead, Don. But one thing about the Oilers, they're young and they don't know they're supposed to quit. They don't know they're not supposed to come back on the Islanders hockey club. So I suggest that the Islanders better keep sending 2 men in deep and forechecking the latter part of this period and on into the third period, or else look out, because the Oilers are a young bunch of guys who don't know the meaning of the word quit, and they can come back.
Areas of my imagination, it almost seems to me that Wayne Gretzky hasn't seen that much ice time tonight.
No, he hasn't. Not as much as he usually does. I can't figure that out either, because I know he's not injured.
Lorimer back into his own zone. Lorimer dumping it down the ice. Silverman at his own line, being forced back behind his goal by Merrick. I think we could see a fair bit of this. The Islanders dumping it down the ice anytime they are pressured. Here's Messier breaking in across the line, taken in against the boards by Lorimer. Messier still with that puck. Brackenbury steps in there as well. Messier is pinned against the boards by Nystrom, and we'll have a face-off in the New York zone.
Well, Brackenbury and Nystrom again, and Bob Nystrom, there was rumors, Don, during the season that he was on the trading block, and I find that very hard to believe, because every year in the playoffs, Bob Nystrom is the big gun for the New York Islanders. Not only does he score some goals for them, as he has in this playoff series, but he also does a lot of body work, and he's good in the corners. He puts some fear into a lot of the opposing players.
Many of his goals are certainly of the timely variety. The biggest in his career, of course, in May of last year against the Philadelphia Flyers in overtime to win the Stanley Cup. Face off to the left of Smith. Merrick gets the puck and flips it down the ice. Racing back after it is Hick. 2 minutes of time left in this second period. Now Messier goes back behind his own goal. Over to Hicks. Hicks into the center ice area for Anderson. Anderson putting on the brakes, trying to feed it to the corner. Good play by Lorimer to break it up. He plays it ahead to Nystrom. Nystrom dodges a check. Brackenbury catches up with the play, takes Nystrom in against the boards. He dumps him. Silverman has it poked away by Lorimer, and then it's flipped up over the boards and out of play by Gord Lane. Face-off inside the New York line. Gretzky is out there now with Halligan and Curry. 2 goals by the Islanders seems to have taken a little sting out of the Oiler attack. At the line, Dennis Potvin over to Ken Morrow to Butch Goring. Goring quite content simply to play it off the boards into the Edmonton zone. The Oilers dumped it out, but it's fired right back in by New York. Pass intended for Gretzky, intercepted by Butch Goring. Goring at the side of the goal to Tonelli. Tonelli tried to steer it to the goal mouth, and it was knocked away by Moog. Now it's Callaghan out of his own zone. Across the line, slap shot. It deflects off the stick of Morrow and into the stands, out of play.
Wayne Gretzky actually, Don, looks a little bit tired tonight. And you know, the New York Islanders have taken a little different tack on Wayne Gretzky than the Montreal Canadiens did. They're bumping him at every chance they can get. I noticed on the way up the ice there, Butch Goring moved in front of him, didn't give him any room to move. And the other night in the Island, everybody saw how many times he got knocked over. And for a young man his size, it's got to show its toll after 80 games, 10 exhibition games, and now 9 playoff hockey games with the amount of ice time he gets.
As far as his physical stature is concerned, Gretzky, 5'11", 165 pounds. Biggest hit of his career in a game against Toronto way back in December. when Billy McCreary stepped into him at the blue line. I'm sure any fans who were watching that night will recall that check.
You remember after that hit, Don, you could have heard a pin drop in this Coliseum.
Indeed you could. I'm sure many people thought, there goes the franchise.
Oh, it was a clean check, too. It was one of those things that happens once or twice a year. I got to give Gretzky a lot of credit, because I remember after that check, he was down for a little bit on the ice, and I know he was hurting awfully badly, but he jumped up back into the box and made darn sure he was out there going like crazy the next shift on the ice.
41 seconds remaining in the period. The icing call forces another face-off in the New York zone. Fans not quite as boisterous as they were earlier. The Islanders have played a very solid hockey game tonight, not really giving Edmonton many chances, particularly in front of the net.
No question about that. They're clearing the puck extremely well, and Denny Potvin's been out there for about 30 out of the 40 minutes we played here.
Many of the shots that the Oilers have taken so far in the game come from very sharp angles. Here's Kevin Lowe taking a shot, and Morrow dropped in front of that one. The defensemen have been doing a good job in that regard. Merrick across the line, trying to get it to Trottier. It goes loose. Trottier racing after it. He wheels, fires a shot. It's knocked down by the Oiler defenseman. Pass intercepted. Potvin shot off the glass to the top of the goal. Lowe dumping it up along the boards. Edmonton having difficulty getting it out of there now with just 7 seconds left in the period. Trottier bumps Vogelin. They tie each other up. Hunter gets the puck in the corner, trying to move along the boards as the siren sounds. And the New York Islanders with 2 goals late in the period, breaking a 1-all tie. And they have also outshot Edmonton by a margin of 21-16.
Let's say you need to get your car insured. You want to shop around so you can make a smart decision, but you want to do it fast. That's why you've got to go to Progressive.com. You can get the Progressive direct rate and the rates of other top companies. So you could save a lot of money. And it only takes about 8 minutes.
Saving hundreds is just the beginning. Start saving today at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Click or call today.
Hockey, it's more than a game. For some, it's their faith, their commitment. Less than a religion, but not by much. Refined throughout history, but unchanged in its enduring simplicity. Played by a group of men whose hearts pump life beneath a crest for which they would sacrifice body and soul. It is a ferocious ballet of speed and skill, force and bravery. Beautifully captured in all its splendor on NHL DVDs from Warner Home Entertainment. The history, the legends, the moments, the glory. Own it today.
Now available on DVD, Pittsburgh Penguins' greatest game box set, the greatest Stanley Cup Final Game 7s box set, Stanley Cup Championship DVDs, and more. Available wherever DVDs are sold and at shop.nhl.com.
All hockey, all the time. You're watching the NHL Network. Coyotes Wild, tomorrow at 6 Eastern on the NHL Network.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers and the New York Islanders have returned to the ice here at Northlands Coliseum. And the fans at the Coliseum giving the Oilers another standing ovation as they skate out. If the encouragement provided by the fans can be a motivating factor, the Oilers are certainly getting it.
Well, we heard it in the other series we did, Don, the Chicago-Calgary series. In both rinks we heard the fans going crazy, but I think this outdoes them all.
Jerry, we talked about the strong defensive play of the Islanders and the work of Billy Smith, as Howie alluded to it. The Islanders in this particular game, I think, have played very disciplined hockey, much more so than in any previous game.
Well, there's no question about that. The game of hockey often is a game of mistakes that you don't make, not great plays that you make. And the Islanders have really only made 2 mistakes tonight. One cost them a goal, and the other time Billy Smith was there to make the save. And this is why they're the Stanley Cup champions.
Well, if you're interested in statistics, when the Oilers are trailing after 2 periods during the course of this past season, they only had 3 wins. They lost 25, and they tied 5. Play in the Edmonton zone. Bossy back of the net for Trottier. Kevin Lowe takes it away from him. A lead pass too far for Gary Unger, and icing is going to be called against Edmonton.
In this period, as I mentioned, late in the second period, the New York Islanders, if they're in real trouble in their own end of the ice, they're just going to dump it out. But if they get over that red line, they've got to get the puck in deep and get 2 people in on top of it. If you let the Oilers come out with those young legs, you got Glenn Anderson, Messier, if Gretzky gets to turn it on, Yari, Curry, good rushing defensemen in Lowe and Coffey, then the Islanders are going to be in trouble. They've got to go after the Oilers.
From the face-off, Bossy with a quick shot, but one of the Oiler defensemen got a stick in front of it and deflected it. Now they jostle in the corner. The puck goes loose. Bossy gets to it. Back to the line to McEwen. He winds up, and it's knocked down in front by Fogelin. However, the Oilers are having some problems in getting it out of their own zone. New York is just not allowing them to freewheel and move out. They're being forced to dump it out. Now Coffey back into his own zone. He plays it ahead to Hughes. Hughes in across the line. Over for Coffey. Coffey dropped it back. There was nobody there. The Riviere, as the Oilers were caught in the change, could not catch up with that sliding puck. Now it's Callaghan in the center ice area. Goring is doing quite a job tonight on Wayne Gretzky. He's following him all over the ice. And I'm sure he'll concentrate even more in this 3rd period on watching the great Gretzky. The puck loose in the New York zone, picked up by Anders Kalur. He got the go-ahead goal in the 2nd period. Now it's Tonelli firing it ahead to Kalur. Kalur knocked off the puck by Coffey. It goes loose in the center ice zone. Gretzky picks it up. He's chased back into his own zone by Goring. The puck loose in the center ice area now. Here's Coffey in across the line. Coffey had difficulty controlling it. To the line, but not out. Kept in there by Curry. Played back of the net. Smith stops it for Morrow. Up along the board. Kalur having difficulties getting it out of there. Now Gretzky goes back to the net. Gretzky has it taken away by Goring. Goring up along the board to Tonelli. Tonelli finally pokes it free to Potvin and starts out. We played 2 minutes of the 3rd period. Goring with the shot as he took that left wing pass from Dennis Potvin. It deflected to the corner. Goring broke his stick. Coffey comes back. Coffey fired it into the corner. Smith is out of his net to play it. Unable to get it out. It comes to Anderson to the goal mouth. And it deflected over top of the goal. Now it's Gretzky up. Messier fired it wide. Messier set up perfectly by Gretzky, and he flipped it wide. Now at center ice. Puck brought in across the line by Merrick, but Gretzky was still trapped in the New York zone. Face-off in the center ice area. Lane in his own zone, looking for Merrick. Over to Nystrom. He shoots it in. Lowe playing it up along the board. Nystrom manages to keep it in. He spins around and fires it wide. Lorimer races in from the line. He shoots it back to the goal. Nystrom trying to center it. Hagman knocks it to the wing, and Anderson brings it out. Anderson having difficulty as Lane stands up at the blue line. This is something that the Islanders are certainly doing well tonight, Jerry, standing up at the line and checking the Oilers as they try and bring it in.
Well, there's no doubt about that. It's almost as if they've watched film, because when they've gotten in trouble before, it's when they've let Anderson, Messier, Gretzky, Yari, Curry, and Paul Coffey, who's done it again tonight. But when they let them over the blue line and get time to make the play, they're in real trouble. The Islanders' defense have obviously been well coached by Al Arbor, because they are standing up tonight. Denny Potvin does it all the time and does it very, very well. And he'll even stand up at center ice, not even his own blue line, and anticipate a pass and take it away from an Oiler.
Trottier is out there again with Bossy and Gillies. On occasion, Arbor has broken up this line throughout the series. trying to get Bossy away from the checking of Dave Hunter. Hunter, Pat Hughes, and Gary Younger. Bossy back to Gillies. Gillies takes the shot and getting a piece of it with Moog, steering it to the corner. It's flipped out to center ice. Langevin waits for his mates to get back onside, then he fires it in. Lowe goes back of the goal, being watched there by Trottier. He flipped it up along the boards, back to center ice. Vogelin into the corner. He is bodied by Gillies. Up along the boards. Hunter now having problems getting out. Finally to Younger. Over to Vogelin. Vogelin, a long drive. Smith steers that off to the side. And picking it up in the New York zone is Trottier to Gillies. Back to McEwen. McEwen slap shot. It's high and wide. Now it's Pat Hughes dumping it down the ice. Here's the pass to Unger. Unger steals it. He's going right in. Great save by Smith, who came out of his net to poke it away. Oh, Gary Younger had a great opportunity to get the Oilers right back in the game. Now it's McEwen with a long shot that deflects off Lee Vogelin. Picked up by Kevin Lowe, ahead to Callaghan. Callaghan slaps it high over top of the goal and up into the crowd.
It's coming. The game of the week. With the biggest stars, the hardest hits, and non-stop action. Go inside the glass when the Bruins face off against the Rangers in an Eastern Conference rivalry. The game of the week is on NBC.
The best way to support grassroots hockey is by booking your travel at usahockeytravel.com. Powered by Travelocity, it's safe, gets you where you're going fast, and you'll be hard-pressed to find a better price. Visit usahockeytravel.com today.
Paul Coffey going for the net. In too deep to shoot. Now he tries to center and scores! Puck is loose to center. Coffey and Smith, 2-on-1. Coffey, 7-2 Oilers.
He missed Hunter. Coffey following up. The slap shot scores! 39th goal of the year for Coffey. Against Bodger, turns away. Here's Coffey coming up on the plate. Here's Coffey going right in. Scores!
Hockey is there, rolls it back behind the net, intercepted by Suominen. Suominen checked by Sneps. Curry rolls it to Gretzky. Gretzky out in front, sets up. Coffey who scores!
Curry now has a 9-game point streak. Paul Coffey assisting at 19-20s, and Coffey scores! He is some hockey player. 36 years old, although some question that. Here's Coffey on a rush, right in, shoots, scores!
It's something I can't really celebrate right now because we've got a lot of hockey ahead of us. I mean, we've got to win the Stanley Cup, and it's something that I'll sit back. I mean, it's when I leave the room here, I'll really be happy in the summertime. And it's like winning 2 Stanley Cups. Years down the road, you cherish stuff like that.
14:48, the time left in the hockey game. The Oilers, of course, trying to stave off elimination in the Stanley Cup quarterfinal round. They trail 3-2, and they trail 3-1 in this hockey game. Puck is dumped out to center ice. Lorimer loses it to Anderson, looking for Messier in front of the goal. Messier scores!
Well, the Oilers certainly aren't dead yet, and what a great play by Glenn Anderson. Now watch Anderson. Blocks the shot, gets by Lorimer. Now watch the play he makes to Messier cutting in front of the net. And Messier takes the puck, moves to his left, and makes a good play to beat Billy Smith. Now watch Messier move to his left. There you see it. Billy Smith actually had the puck, and Messier doesn't do that.
Well, that will provide the Oilers with a much-needed lift here in the third period. It's flipped out to center ice. Merrick shoots it back in, but Sutter was trapped offside. Play just underway again. Here's Messier breaking into the wing. Messier shoots and it went over top of the net. Anderson back to Messier. I don't think Messier realized that Anderson was trailing the play. Here's some buckling in the Edmonton zone. Back to the line. A shot right on. Another shot and Sutter fired it wide. Players flying all over the place with some solid body checking in that Edmonton zone. Warner dumps it back in, but the Islanders are called for an offside.
Well, that last shot by Dwayne Sutter didn't miss the net. Andy Moog got his blocking glove on it, and he just came back. He hadn't had much action. Came back with a couple of big saves to give the Oilers lots more life.
A standing ovation again for the Oilers.
There's the play by Anderson. Watch Messier move to his left, take Billy Smith out of the play. Billy Smith actually made a pretty good play and thought he had that puck, but Messier moved to the left and beat him.
I think this crowd very definitely leads the league in standing ovations. Mark Messier, who has scored the second Edmonton goal, putting the Oilers right back into this hockey game with 13:40 left in the period. Back to the line to Lowe. Lowe shoots it in back at the net. Hughes was tied up, couldn't get to it. Gillies flips it back at the net again to Langevin. Langevin to McEwen. Ahead to Gillies. Gillies breaking in on the right side. He's got it by Lowe. Puck played up along the boards, kept in by Trottier. It goes back at the net. Fogelin in the corner. Tried to go rink wide. Knocked down by the Islanders and dumped down the ice by McEwen. Now it's brought back by Lowe. Over on the wing to Hughes. Slap shot. It hit Langevin. They try and play it back to the line, and Clark Gillies simply dumps it down the ice. Kevin Lowe retreats for Edmonton. Lowe up on the wing to Fogelin. Fogelin circling in his own zone. To Lowe, two Edmonton players. Hunter and Hughes had collided in the center ice area and were slow getting to their feet. Now it's shot into the corner, a broken stick in there. The puck comes across the goal. Out the top man, his shot off the glass. 12:36, the time left in the game. 3-2, the Islanders leading the Oilers. Gretzky is out there with Callaghan and Curry. From the face-off, Morrow shoots it in for New York. Ricochets off the board. Tonelli is tied up. Picked up by LaRiviere to Callaghan. Callaghan, a long shot, it's wide. Off the glass, to the line. LaRiviere plays it into the corner. Gretzky trying to control it. It's knocked back out to center ice. Picked up by Coffey. Coffey shoots it in. Smith falls behind his net. Manages to get back in his feet. Callaghan couldn't control it along the board. It's kept in, however, by Coffey. Gretzky wheels and Smith makes the save. Callaghan tried to jam it, and Smith hung on.
Well, as more and more time goes by in the third period, Don, the Edmonton Oilers might take a few more chances, and they really don't have to. There's the play over to Gretzky. He just lets it go on the fly. Billy Smith grabs the puck and hangs on, but they don't have to. If they can get this game down 3-2 with a minute and a half left and pull their goalie, they'll have every opportunity with 6 men on the ice to tie this game up. So it's important, I think, that the Oilers, you can hardly hear Zelslinko here with the fans, but that the Oilers don't do something stupid offensively, send 3 men in deep or have defensemen pinching in tight and let the puck get by them and open up the center of the ice and give the Islanders an easy goal, a gift goal at this stage, because with this amount of time left, all they need is a minute and a half to get that goalie out of there, and they've got every opportunity to tie the game up. Sometimes when they're 2 or 3 goals down, they have to open up, but right now they don't.
The face-off to the left of Smith. Hagman into the circle against Merrick. Potvin takes it back of his own net to Sutter. Ahead to Merrick. Merrick is checked in the center ice area by Silverman. Now it's Hicks to Callaghan. Callaghan back to Hicks to Callaghan. He took a shot and it was blocked in front of the net by Morrow. And Potvin falls in the corner, falling on top of the puck and holding it for a face-off.
the fans were doing a little bit of booing there. They thought Potvin should have got a penalty for bringing the puck in. I'm not so sure that they're not right there. It's a penalty that's very seldom called. It has to be pretty blatant. You have to put your hand right over the puck and bring it underneath you, which I guess Potvin really didn't do.
Well, Glenn Sather is making several adjustments with his lines for the Oilers. He has Gretzky out there now between Messier and Anderson. Vogelin and Lowe are back on the blue line. Eric is out there with Sutter and Nystrom. Messier trying to play it to the goal mouth. It was broken up by the Islanders. A lead pass intended for Nystrom just a little too far. Going back after it is Anderson, and as he touches it, icing is called against New York.
Well, what Sather's trying to do is get a little offensive punch. Gretzky, Curry, and Callaghan have not played particularly well tonight. One of the few nights you'll see that line not play real well. So what he's done is just move Gretzky in between two great skaters in Anderson and Messier, hoping to generate some offense.
11:22 is the time left in the period. 3-2, the Islanders leading. In case you missed it, the New York Rangers advanced to the semifinal round with a 7-4 win tonight over the St. Louis Blues. Back to the line, Coffey's shot, and it's wide of the net. Trottier to Sutter. With Merrick, drop pass for Merrick, moving in, shot, deflected wide. Gretzky along the boards. He has Messier and Anderson with him. Gretzky, good move at the line to get around Morrow, wherever he couldn't control the puck. Then he's bodied by Nystrom. Messier steps into Nystrom. The puck goes loose, and it's brought out by Potvin. Potvin's shot off the glass. Into the corner after it, LeRiviere, he is bodied. Merrick cutting up front, and he scores! No, that's Sutter.
Well, a defensive lap by the Oilers, allowing Sutter to walk out in front of the net. Danny Potvin actually starts the play here, takes the shot, and it goes off of LeRiviere and high and off the glass. Now watch Sutter pick it up, and the Edmonton Oilers defenseman backs off. There's absolutely no way Sutter should be allowed to come out in front. He came out untouched, and you can hardly fault Andy Moog for a goal like that.
Well, there may be some celebrating in Viking, Alberta tonight with that goal by Dwayne Sutter.
And funny, he's had a couple of injuries this year, coming back off a serious injury. And he's had trouble getting back into the Islander lineup.
Big Clark Gillies, 6'3", 218 pounds. Pretty good baseball player in his younger days. Actually, he and Bobby Bourne both at one time were in the Houston chain. Now it's Lowe to Vogelin. Vogelin, a long shot into the corner. Picked up off the boards by McEwen. However, the play is whistled down. An offside call against Edmonton. Hunter and McEwen still drawing away at each other.
Hockey, it's more than a game. For some, it's their faith, their commitment. Less than a religion, but not by much. Refined throughout history, but unchanged in its enduring simplicity. Played by a group of men whose hearts pump life beneath a crest for which they would sacrifice body and soul. It is a ferocious ballet of speed and skill, force and bravery. Beautifully captured in all its splendor on NHL DVDs from Warner Home Entertainment. The history, the legends, the moments, the glory. Own it today.
In this jersey, I pledge to wreak havoc on my opponent's plus-minus.
To make one-timers happen way more than once.
I pledge that my team will scrap for every single point on the schedule.
In this jersey, I pledge that holes are only holes if they're open.
Shop.NHL.com presents the RBK Edge jersey. All 30 teams reinvented for more strength, more speed, more belief.
In this jersey, I pledge to play for the logo on the front, not the name on the back.
What do you pledge? Visit shop.NHL.com for your jersey.
Watch Ovechkin fly like Bure. See Phaneuf smash like Stevens.
Malkin! Sensational!
In a new generation of NHL stars, there are remnants of the past. The Just Like Me DVD shows how a new group of heroes is influenced by hockey's greatest generation.
You want to talk about good young talent?
Available January 22nd wherever DVDs are sold or shop NHL.com.
Oh my goodness!
Brett Callaghan in the penalty box, a holding infraction. And New York Islanders will have the man advantage in 28 seconds. That's the time left in the penalty to Trottier. Up on the wing to Lorimer. Lorimer into the center ice area. Merrick is there with him, and he flips the puck into the Edmonton zone. Fogelin being chased into the corner by Tonelli. Fogelin shoots it down the ice. Lorimer back after it, and he clears it into the Edmonton zone. Again, the icing is waved as Lowe had a chance to pick it up. Kept in at the line by New York. Rink-wide pass for McEwen, moving in, shot, and Lowe got a skate on it. Out front, Bossy shooting, save, loose puck. Bossy racing after it, moving in. He couldn't get a shot, shooting it out front. Here's Potvin winding up, and his shot is deflected up into the stands. As New York is back at full strength, and 1:06 is the time left in the penalty to Callaghan.
Well, Mike Bossy. Watch him get his... Moves in, gets his own rebound, and he can really handle a puck. Sees no chance to go. Moog has the short side covered, and he just fires it through to Denny Potvin. And the puck was tipped up over the glass, but you can't let a guy like Mark Bossy get away even for one shift in a hockey game, because he can score 2 or 3 in one shift. And Davey Hunter's done an excellent job on it.
Loose puck picked up by Potvin. Potvin moving in, slap shot. It went wide, it bounces out front. And here's a chance for the Oilers, a 2-on-1 break. Coffey with Anderson. Anderson back to Coffey, a flip shot, and Smith dove and held on. Anderson and Coffey breaking in 2-on-1 in this short-handed situation. Not a good shot by Coffey, but Smith came out of his net to grab it and hang on.
Well, I think it surprised him a little bit, and he does make a great save here. Watch it. The puck changes directions on him. There you see it, and Smith wasn't really ready for that. He's come up with some big, big saves, been every bit as good as Andy Moog tonight.
50 seconds left in the penalty to Callaghan. 7:58 in the hockey game, and the Islanders lead it by 2. Messier issuing some instructions on this face-off, positioning LaRiviere. However, Trottier got the draw. It's McEwen back of his own net. Pass ahead to Potvin. He has played a strong game back on the line. The play broken up on that long pass. Anderson to Messier, a shot to the goal mouth. Anderson tried to jam at the rebound, but it was picked off by McEwen. McEwen almost lost that puck at the side of his own goal. Here's McEwen getting away from a check. A pass over on the wing for Bossy and across the line. Bossy putting on the brakes, feeding it over to McEwen. McEwen moving in, he scores! And it's now 5-2. The Islanders leading. That goal coming with 14 seconds left in the penalty to Brett Callaghan.
Well, watch where this shot goes. Mike Bossy makes it a real good play all the way across the ice to McEwen. And watch the shot. Lower right-hand corner. Absolutely no chance for Andy Moog. It's just about 2 or 3 inches. And watch this. That kind of a shot's pretty hard to stop.
7:22, the time left in the hockey game.
Number 31, Billy Smith. The time, 12 minutes, 38 seconds.
And this crowd that came to the Northlands Coliseum tonight with great anticipation. Somewhat quiet here in the third period. Now that the Islanders have assumed a 5-2 lead. Loose puck in the New York corner. Finally picked up along the boards and brought out. Galligan has to wait for teammate to get onside. Now to Silverman. Slap shot, and that went up into the crowd.
8 minutes into the second period, and the Detroit Red Wings lead the Montreal Canadiens 3-2.
The game has changed. So should the way you watch it. NHL Network, the home of hockey. Available in HD.
Is this the year the Cup comes to Buffalo?
To Carolina? To Pittsburgh? Is this the year someone scores 50 and 38?
And 37?
In 36? Is this the year someone scores 200 points?
Is this the year kids start taping their sticks like Stahl?
Is this the year someone scores 93?
Is this the year a forward becomes unstoppable?
Is this the year a goalie stops everything? Is this the year we finally figure out who's dad's favorite?
Is this the year?
Is this the year?
Этот год? Is this the year?
Is this the year?
Every Stanley Cup final has thrilling moments, but perhaps none more memorable than a Game 7 for the right to hoist Lord Stanley.
The waiting is over!
Now, with the Game 7 Collection DVD box set, you can relive these unforgettable contests.
And after 22 years, Raymond Mark!
Hosted by Craig Simpson. Available wherever DVDs are sold or shop NHL.com.
3:53 is the time left in this hockey game with the Islanders in front, 5-2. I'm sure if the Islanders should maintain this advantage, they will look forward to the rest they will enjoy before beginning semifinal play. Galligan in the corner, trying to go to the other side, picked off by Trottier. He's hammered into the boards by Hicks. Bossy comes in. Bossy is upset. The puck goes loose, and it was played ahead by Risto Siltanen with his glove.
Well, the people watching the game at home tonight and the people in the rink, Don, despite the fact that the Oilers look like they're going to lose this hockey game, have been treated to just a very, very well-played game by the Stanley Cup champions. This is why they are the Stanley Cup champions. They come in here, everybody says they're under a lot of pressure. They didn't want to come here in the first place. They're going to win the hockey game. But I'll tell you something else. The Oilers have created something here that's going to last a long, long time.
Gretzky comes out of his own zone. Gretzky simply dumps it in. Galligan races in after it, but Morrow gets there first. Back to the net. Gretzky right out in front. He has difficulty controlling it. I think there are some very tired hockey players out here tonight. This has been a very physical series. Some excellent hitting. Some excellent hockey. Dumped into the Edmonton zone. Anders Galur plays it around the boards to the other side, picked up by Lowe. Lowe ahead to Curry, to Gretzky. Gretzky feeding it in on the left side. Messier in the corner. He's tied up. The puck goes loose, and it's loose in the New York zone. Well, right now we welcome the viewers who have been watching the Philadelphia-Calgary game. It's brought in offside by Butch Goring. 5-2 is the score here at the Northlands Coliseum with now 2:31 left in this hockey game.
In the last 5 or 6 minutes of this period, Don, we have seen the pace slow down unbelievably to what it was in the early going of the game. They played so many hockey games, 6 games, I guess it is, in 8 nights now, and 3 and 4 nights in the first round against the Montreal Canadiens for the Oilers.
Plus all the traveling.
And plus all the travel from one end of the country to the other. And I've noticed it particularly on Wayne Gretzky tonight. He has not been as crisp as he usually is, and who can fault him for that with all the hockey he's played this year.
Kevin Lowe in his own zone. Over to Lee Fogelin. He puts it out to center ice, and John Tonelli shoots it back in. New York Islanders leading by 3. If they win this series, and it looks very much as though they will, as Goring steals it at center ice, fanned on his shot, they will meet the New York Rangers in semifinal play. Now it's Tonelli stilling it over on the right side to Sutter. Sutter slaps it, and he fired it wide. Off the boards, it's picked up by Anderson. Anderson trying to get out of there, having some problems against the strong forechecking of New York. Riviere back at his own line. Lead pass for Anderson. Over on the left side for Messier. The second stick away, 1:40 left in the game. And icing is called against Edmonton. Well, it's been a tremendously entertaining series. Much better than the majority of hockey fans across the country, I'm sure, expected. The Edmonton Oilers, the Cinderella team, against the defending Stanley Cup champion New York Islanders. This young Edmonton team, with 7 players still eligible for junior hockey, captured the imagination of hockey fans not only here in Edmonton, but right across the country.
Well, they certainly have. And, you know, Don, every time I picked a team to win in this playoffs, I've been dead wrong. I really thought that the Oilers would go down against the Montreal Canadiens, and they've created interest here that they've created a 2 series here that people are going to remember for years and years and years.
And as several of the players have commented, this team has matured about 5 years in the space of about one month. Lorimer into the corner. He's tied up there by Hunter. It comes back to the line. LaRiviere with a shot. It's deflected by Smith. Smith has been very strong in goal tonight for the New York Islanders, as we've mentioned several times, making some very key saves, particularly in the second period. The final minute of this hockey game is shot by Hunter. Lorimer grabs the rebound. He bangs it up along the boards and out to center ice. And listen to the fans react here at the Northlands Coliseum. They've started to stand, despite the fact that the Oilers will be going down to defeat. They are applauding the effort of this young hockey team, and justifiably so. They have provided the hockey fans in this sports-crazed city with some tremendous thrills. Very difficult to hear the whistle, even for the players on the ice, with the noise of this crowd.
Well, you're going to have an Oiler Hockey Club going into their dressing room that I hope are very, very proud of themselves. I hope Glenn Sather and Peter Pocklington, the owner of the Oilers, go in there and tell these players just how proud they are, because who would have ever guessed they'd beat the Canadiens in 3 straight and take the Islanders to 6? And if it hadn't been for the Islanders' power play, they may have had a very legitimate chance to win this series.
25 seconds left in the game. What a dandy battle that should be in one semifinal involving the Islanders and the Rangers. Minnesota, of course, won't know until Sunday whether they'll be playing the Flyers or the Flames. Now it's Gallagher in the center ice area. 7 seconds left in the game. Over to Gillies. Gillies simply dumps it in, and that will do it. The New York Islanders defeat the Edmonton Oilers 5-2. But rest assured, the Islanders knew they were in a series.
Despite the series loss, the Oilers' performance against the defending champions provided the launching pad for the Oilers' dynasty of the mid to late 80s. For the Islanders, they would knock off the Rangers in the next round before winning their 2nd Stanley Cup in a row with a 4-1 series win over the Minnesota North Stars. Thanks for watching Vintage Games here on the NHL Network. We'll see you again next time.
Coyotes Wild. Tomorrow at 6 Eastern on the NHL Network.
Chance and McInnes drills the shot.
Pronger hit by Lowry and Nolan starts back. Ronson scores! Oh, Nolan rifled one from the blue line. March was trying to dig it up. Nash comes in to throw a huge check. This is a beauty. That's a classic. There's a nice play. He's done it, baby! Unbelievable! By McInnes. Now Mattel darts in. Great save, Turner!
Welcome to Classic Series on the NHL Network. I'm Dan Pollard. In the spring of 2000, optimism was abound in the city of St. Louis. The Blues had just finished the regular season with a franchise-high 114 points and won their first President's Trophy. Many thought this was their best chance to win their first championship in team history. Their quest began in the Western Conference quarterfinal against the San Jose Sharks in what would turn out to be a very memorable series. For the 21st straight year, the St. Louis Blues had made the playoffs. They had shown a 27-point improvement in winning their first division title in more than a decade. The biggest change for them had been in goal, where Roman Turek had earned the Jennings Trophy in his first year with the Blues. In front of him, Al MacInnis and Chris Pronger anchored the stingiest defense in the league. Pavel Demitra had the team high in goals and points, 28 goals and 75 points.